Thank you. And thank you for having me here tonight. Jay, I just want to say quickly that you are absolutely an inspiration to me. I really love your story, and I don't know where Rose is. I haven't had a chance to meet you yet. I can't wait to meet you after tonight's ceremony. Anyone who can raise 6 children and have a gentleman as just phenomenal as Jay, there's just something truly blessed about you. So congratulations. An awesome story about Jay. On his last day as a Europe intern, he was reminding me of this tonight. I took him over to introduce him to Sheryl Sandberg, and so he had a few minutes to meet with her, and we took a couple pictures, and she was so impressed with him that at the end of her time with him, she said, "Jay, I can't wait for the day I'm going to work for you." So I'm really excited to congratulate the class of July 2012. This program has very special meaning to me, and I'm really honored to be here. I believe firmly that people can be successful in life following 2 very simple strategies. One is to be open and aware to see the opportunities that are in front of you, and the other is to have the courage and the perseverance to take advantage of those opportunities. This simple formula is basically how I have gotten to where I am today. Yet implicit in this is the assumption that opportunities exist in equal form for everybody. And the reality is this is not always the case. There are many aspects of our society where opportunity is limited. You can just look at some of the challenges that we face today as a nation. Our biggest challenge right now is unemployment. We have 8.3% unemployment in this nation. Yet even that number doesn't really tell the whole story. It hides the fact that the impact of the recession has had disproportionate impact on different segments of our population. Yet paradoxically, at the company that I work for, we have a huge problem finding people. We need more talent to help us grow and realize the opportunities that Facebook has ahead of it. And so addressing this conundrum has been a key focus for me, and it is the reason that I'm involved with Europe. But to help you understand why, I want to give you a little bit of my story and how I came to stand before you. So I come from an immigrant family. My father moved to the United States from the Dominican Republic at the end of World War II. He grew up poor. He didn't have much, but my grandmother focused him on education, and he used this to create a good middle-class life for my 2 sisters and myself. And so I grew up in a relatively normal lifestyle. I wasn't exceptionally good academically or athletically. I worked my way through high school and ultimately went to college to study computer science. And while in college, one day, my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, Shannon, she found an opportunity for me for an internship at a software company called Sybase. And I looked at the flyer and I focused on one thing: the hourly rate. It was 3 times what I was going to be able to do bussing tables or anything else that was available for me at the time. But I put the flyer aside and I ignored it. Shannon is the one who encouraged me to apply. Her point to me was it would help me out with school, and it was just a great opportunity to start my career before I graduated. And the reality was, though, that I was scared. I was scared that I wasn't good enough, so I didn't want to even try. But with her encouragement, I applied. And of course, I heard nothing back, and Shannon was really persistent with me. She encouraged me not to give up, to check in. And so I did every day. And after 2 weeks, I finally got a call back telling me that, hey, sorry, this position has been filled. And so I accepted my fate and I moved on. But a few weeks later, I got a call back from Sybase. And what happened was the student that they had hired had developed appendicitis. And because I'd been so persistent and so annoying to the recruiter, I was at the top of the resume list. And so I ultimately got the job interview, and I ultimately got the job. And I worked really, really hard. And at the end of my summer internship, Sybase was impressed enough with me to extend it. And I ended up working for them for the rest of my time through college. And it not only helped me learn valuable skills, but it also helped me to pay for my school. So over the next 7 years, I experienced a lot of career growth. I was good at finding hard problems that nobody wanted to solve. For example, I managed the relationship between my team and another company that was working on a really innovative project for CNN in the mid-1990s. And that effort led me to being promoted to the manager of my team, despite being the youngest by far in this group. I later joined a startup, and I helped fix a major problem that was preventing us from selling internationally. And that led to me being considered to run engineering for this startup, which, by the way, I declined to pursue that role, but that's another story in itself. My career evolved basically because in every role that I was in, I was good at finding opportunities and then working harder than anybody else around me to realize them. And this ultimately led me to become the CIO of KLA-Tencor. Now, KLA-Tencor, I like to say, is the largest company in the Silicon Valley, which nobody's ever heard of. But it's actually a company that's affected everybody in this room if you've ever used a phone, a car, a computer, or anything with a chip in it. So when I was promoted, I was really proud of this. I was the youngest CIO in the Fortune 500. But my career ascension carried a really heavy price. I helped KLA become more lean and efficient. I helped them scale globally, to move manufacturing to Singapore, to move software development to India, to outsource many aspects of support, to automate and eliminate and just get rid of many redundant jobs. This was my success. And by 2008, I felt empty. I had eliminated the jobs of more people than I had hired in my career. And I couldn't take it anymore. And so in October of 2008, during a round of downsizing, I put my own name on a list. My boss rejected the overture, but I was serious. And after a bit of negotiation, he accepted my resignation after I agreed to stay on for a few months more to handle the transition. And it was one of the toughest decisions I made in my life. I'd accomplished so much, proving to the world what I could do, but I felt so unhappy with it that I couldn't participate in it. I had no idea what the hell I was going to do next. I had no idea where my life would take me. The 2008 recession, which I thought was a bump in the road, accelerated, and by mid-2009, it was clear that our nation was headed for a big mess economically. And in many respects, it felt insane for me to have given up a perfectly good job simply because I didn't like it. But I wanted to create opportunity, not destroy it. And to do this, I had to find opportunity for myself. So I invested in myself. I went back to business school, and in mid-2010, I had the opportunity to interview at Facebook. And I worked hard to get that interview and ultimately the job. Facebook was the perfect role for me. It's a new, growing company, has tremendous potential, an incredibly hopeful and empowering culture, a job focused on building, not eliminating. When I started at the company, we had 1,400 employees. We now have over 4,000, and we're still growing. And so in March of 2011, I was sitting with Shannon, and I told her how grateful I was for where I was and the things that I'd achieved. That the decision to leave KLA had ultimately created this opportunity for me at Facebook and helped me to do what I was really passionate about in a way that was constructive and felt good for me. And it was at that time that I started to look for ways to create opportunities elsewhere. So as I mentioned before, one of the biggest issues that still exists in our society today is it's not just a lack of jobs, it's the mismatch in skills. The jobs of the future require the skills of the future, and this starts with education. The U.S. lags much of the developed world in our use of computers in the classroom. So in my organization at Facebook, we started rectifying this by donating laptops to schools. We've given hundreds of laptops to schools in underprivileged areas in San Jose, in East Palo Alto, in Crook County, Oregon, and several other communities. This summer, Steve Ruggiero, my colleague at Facebook, helped to create the Junior Techs program in partnership with East Palo Alto and Menlo Park. And this is basically a program to bring high school students in for a 1-month summer internship where we taught them how we build and support the technology that connects nearly 1 billion people on the planet. And the goal of this program is to get kids interested in technology at a young age. So, of course, this also has led to my involvement with Europe. It's a program that I'm most proud of. We've now had 3 classes of interns at Facebook in Palo Alto, Menlo Park, and now we have an intern in New York as well. And I've just been so impressed with the students that I've met through Europe and the challenges that they've had to overcome to get to where they are. I think Jay's story earlier today is a great example of that. There's so much passion with them. All they need is an opportunity. And this is, for me, what Europe is about. It's about creating those opportunities. It's up to the class of July 2012 to figure out what you're going to do with that. But I believe that with opportunity and abundance in our society, that we will rise to the challenge, that we will make a better world to live in, that we will find the ways to solve our toughest problems. And so it's my honor to stand before you today. To the class of July 2012, I'd like you to remember the following from my talk. To be successful, all you need to do is just these 2 things. Find those opportunities that are in front of you. They may be hard to find. They will be hard to find. But they are there. Second, have the courage to take advantage of them and the perseverance to work as hard as you can to be successful in them. But to everybody here, especially the corporate sponsors, I think this is a message that we need to carry forward. That opportunities exist because we create them. And to the degree that we can, I encourage all of us to find ways to create opportunities for others. It's not just a way of paying it forward. It's also a way of ensuring that our friends, our families, and our children are able to enjoy success as well. Thank you.